copyright notices. If you wish to read, pause the video. The original videos are linked in the description down below. Enjoy. Alright then, so in this one what you're going to see is somebody basically praying, but praying is apparently in breach of a public space protection order which has been put into place. But yeah, the same praying is a part of the things you're not allowed to do in that area because of the public place protection order. We'll get straight into it, we'll break it down, and then we'll see what it actually says. Let's just get straight into it.
I just wanted to sort of come over and just say hello in the first instance, but
Sure.
also just inquire to your activities for today.
Well, I'm praying.
Just for your awareness, you are in an area which is governed by a public space protection order. I don't know if you're aware.
I am aware.
Of that public space protection
Yes.
order. They also call it a safe zone. There are signs located in the area just to make you aware of that and the area where certain activities are prohibited.
Sure. Yeah.
In terms.
Alright then, so we've got to ask, what is a public order protection order? So the public order protection order comes under the Antisocial Behaviour Crimes and Policing Act 2014 is section 59, which is a public order protection order, the public space protection order. Powers to make orders. So a local authority may make a public space protection order in satisfaction of reasonable grounds that two conditions are met. The first condition is that the activity carried out on in a public place within the authorized area has a detrimental effect on the quality of life for those in the local area, or it is likely that activities will be carried out in the public space within the area and they will have such an effect. So, what is praying got to do with this? Because I don't see it. Obviously it says noise. Praying doesn't make much noise. But this is quite a big one, so if you want to go in depth in it, I've told you what it is, so you can actually look into it. I'm not going to go all the way into it now. They have to meet certain things to actually put one of these in place. I don't think praying is creating an effect which affects people's lives or is likely to be causing problems for people. Not just that, I honestly believe putting it in place for praying is against our Human Rights Act. So it's Article 9, freedoms of thought and religion, basically. I believe it's against this. If you want to read it, there you go. Everybody should know the human rights anyways. If you don't, please educate yourself on them.
Of that, can I ask what is the nature of your prayer today?
What is the nature of it? I'm praying for my son.
I don't want to pray, but I don't want to sort of ask you to
Yeah.
elaborate on that. But
Sure.
at the same time, it would be remiss of me to sort of not mention like I say, the area of the activity.
Sure.
In terms of that, there is a clause within the public space around prayer.
Yes.
So in my eyes, if there is one around prayer, would be an unlawful restriction. So the public order, the public space protection order would be invalid, because limiting somebody's freedom of religion is against our human rights. Not only that, what they are saying, because in that area, if you live in one of these houses in that area, you cannot pray because you would be in breach of the act. The act clearly states that it applies to everybody and not just certain individuals. It does state that in the article, which tells you in the act, which tells you what limits everything. But yes, so if that is in place, this public space protection order is invalid in my eyes.
Disapproval around the activities at the clinic here.
Right.
As I say, whilst I don't want to probe as to the reasons you're praying for your son, it obviously is perhaps pertinent to the area that you are in, and like I said, the PSPO and legislation around that.
Well, I'm praying for my son who's deceased.
I'm very sorry to hear.
Thank you.
Okay. So, again,
What she's going to say, sorry for your loss, but again, you're breaching the order. I need your details so I can give you a fine for exercising your religion in a public place, which is a part of your human rights under the Human Rights Act. But because we are going to fine you. That's basically what she's going to say now. Do I agree with it? No. Do I agree with a public space protection order? If it is put in for the right reasons, this is clearly not the right reasons. They're limiting people's human rights of freedom of religion.
I'm sorry for your loss, but ultimately I have to go along the guidelines of the public space protection order.
Right.
They say that we are in the belief, therefore, that you are in breach of clause 4A that says about prayer and also acts of disapproval around the activities at the clinic.
I'm just standing praying.
I understand that, but the PSPO is in place for a reason. We do have to follow through on those regulations.
Okay then, so that's how this video unfortunately ends. In my opinion, it is a complete breach of Article 9 of our Human Rights Act, which is freedom of thought and religion, basically. So in this case, you have freedom of thought, which if you read the actual Article 9 of the Human Rights Act, everyone has the right to freedom of thought, which is your opinions on stuff. So you're allowed your opinions, you're allowed to disagree with other people. That is your human right to do so. But this public space protection order is taking that away from you, which is an unlawful thing for them to do, because they can't restrict your human rights with unlawful acts like this one. It does actually state that in the Public Space Protection Orders Act what limits them and what they can do and can't do, and they have to go under special measures to do it. That Public Place Protection Order can be put into place for no longer than 3 years, which is a bit of an overstretch in my eyes. But in this situation, I think this whole thing's completely wrong. If you want to pray, you should be allowed to, regardless of where it is. I don't care if there's if there's a clinic there for God knows what. Doesn't make a difference. It was just praying. But that's just my opinion. Let us know in the comments down below what you thought of this interaction. As always, like the video, it does open YouTube's algorithm, and I'll catch you on the next one.